Good morning, or I guess afternoon now, because it's noon. Good afternoon, everybody. Slept great last night. It was really, really good. It was my friend's Austin, who's been building the wall downstairs. He's the guy who got us this sweet place. So it was his birthday yesterday, and we all went to this like really awesome French restaurant. And I don't know, after just like eating lots of Cliff Bars and takeout or delivery food and shit while I was working on the house, having like a really good meal with like fresh vegetables and lots of salad and stuff, I just feel like awesome today. I slept great, and yeah, I'm really in a good mood. I'm really in a good mood. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of pick up where we left off. I think it's probably a good idea to do a listen and work on the list. But this project here, I was having some pretty extreme latency issues with the other project, so I made this project where I just have a render of the track, so I could try a bunch of different kind of melodic ideas. And I think that what I need for this track to really kind of come together is some sort of another melodic structure kind of based on the chords of the original sample. So that, because this build-up section and stuff is cool, but it's a bit plain, you know? Like, it's pretty much just a riser and a drum riser, and there's not really anything like going on in the foreground, you know? It's basically just background parts. So I was thinking that if I made like a cool kind of guitar part or something, or at least write it with a guitar and then play it on a synth. But so I spent some time yesterday figuring out what the chords are. They're kind of weird chords, but I think I got a reasonable chord progression that goes under the vocal. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give it the first listen and make a list. But yeah, it's getting pretty close. It's getting pretty close. So here, let's just listen to, it always feels different when you're listening to like, like a computer file like this. It just feels different. You notice different shit. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, if you notice anything for the list, let me know. And I'll add it to the list. Okay, cool. So, yeah, so that's some of the stuff that I noticed off the top of my head. I think the main problem is that build-up section. I think I mean, it used to sound a bit better when the guitars were louder, but I think like those guitars, they're okay, but they're not like amazing, you know. Um, I did make this riff here. Well, here I figured out what the chords are. Right, I'll put the vocal over here so we can hear. But I figured out what the chords are, and I think it took a long time because they're kind of weird chords. But yeah, so here's the chords. Oh wait. So I was trying to kind of figure out melodies. I like the way this melody sounds, but I think we need like a more chugging, like fast picking melody. But yeah. So I was thinking maybe something like that that is like has longer notes and then goes into like a some kind of chugging guitar riff. But I think like doing it in this other project is kind of annoying. So I'm gonna try and go back into this project and just save it. And basically all of the processor use is coming from this really elaborate bass bus that I've made with like tons of automation and everything. And I'm reasonably happy with the bass bus processing. So I think I'm just gonna fucking call it a day and flatten it because it's slowing my whole project down really, really bad. To the point where it's hard to even do stuff. So I think if I do that, then I'll be able to kind of reunite these things into one project. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And then yeah, I want to keep this one like really focused on just fucking high energy dance floor vibes, you know. So I think with this melodic stuff, I'm not gonna get too complicated. I just want it to be enough so that you get that like wow factor in the breakdown, because there is that wow factor from the vocal, but I feel like it's just the vocal and the drop, and the breakdown, the build up thing is just not that great. I also think I might make it shorter. 4.5 minutes is a bit long-winded. I like to kind of like, I don't know. Lately, I've been like under 3 every time, almost like religiously. Okay, so let's just try to render the bass bus without any effects on it and see what happens. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to select that and say File. I'll solo the bass bus. File, export. Yes, I'm going to make it a 32-bit file. Actually, 24 is fine. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, and then I'm going to go into my project folder. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm working off an external hard drive. Okay. So this will be bass bus rendered. So I'm going to do that, and then I think I'm also going to render it without the sub, but I'm pretty happy with the way the sub is sitting. I'm pretty happy. It took a long time to get the sub. I feel like a smidge is no longer a bad thing. Okay. Actually, here, I'm going to try. Oh, hey, what's up on YouTube? How's it going there, BTK and Sire Young? I don't really try to do a genre. If you must know, I kind of just do what I'm gonna do, and you know, and that's what happens. Okay, hang on. How do you make these? Okay, so here I'm trying to. Maybe if I go full screen like that, and then no, I'm trying to make these two chat windows like left and right so I can see both the chats. Cause I gotta know how to do that. So I'm just gonna do that while this thing's rendering. I'm gonna learn how to do that, I guess. Okay. Yeah, see, Facebook doesn't want to show me the chat at the side if the window is not full size, which is a bit... Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, I got both the chats going. Okay, cool. So now I can see everybody on both YouTube and Facebook. That's better. Cool. Oh, BTK is Billy the Kid. I thought it was Bind, Torture, Kill, like the BTK killer. So I didn't realize it was Billy the Kid. Yes, Lexi Marie, genres are for journalists. It's true. BTK, I'm working on a track right now. I'm not doing track feedback, but I do track feedback for people in the producer dojo. Yeah, I actually have a pretty big backlog of track feedback, but I've got other people to start doing track feedback too, so it's not so overwhelming. I'm still trying to figure out what the ideal solution is for just having too many tracks to do feedback on physically. I think it'll all be a lot better once I have the rest of the studio built. Yeah, if you go on my Facebook, I did a little live stream where I showed what we're building in the garage. Well, it's not going to be the garage anymore. It's going to be next to the garage, but yeah, there's going to be a fat studio, and then once that's going, then I can have two studios going at once and have interns and shit, which would really help because I have way more work than one person can physically do. But yeah, soon, all in good time. Yeah, I'm really excited to get this place get the Foley room going and start making sample packs and stuff. It's gonna be so cool. The Foley room is going to be really excellent. I might be able to get a mic from Slate Audio. I'm hoping that they fucking give me a mic because those mics are really expensive. And they are really good. It's cool. It's kind of like UAD where you have like I mean UAD has one too, but it's like a mic where it's a really clean mic and then you can emulate different kinds of mics. So you can be like, oh, I want this to sound like a ribbon mic, and you can just like cycle through the different mic types. It's so cool. I don't know how it does it. Fucking magic. Modern music production is pretty much magic. Alright, so let's go to our project folder and go to the stems, and then there's our rendered bass bus. Okay, it looks decent. So I did it with the sub. Oh wow, that definitely needs some compression. Yeah, I think all my crazy effects and stuff are adding a lot of funky artifacts. So I'm going to do everything except for the sub, and then do one that's just the sub, because I think that might be too much to deal with. So I got to get those levels under control before I can get the sub properly loud. So I'll call this bass bus no sub and render that. Yeah, these later stages of the process are pretty much like a constant Jenga game with your processor to try and make sure that you can do everything that you need to do. And this bass bus, like the plugin chain, there's probably like 40 plugins on there or something ridiculous. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get that kind of under control, and then that's gonna be a lot easier. Oh, Bitso, you need to go to my workshop, homie. Yeah, Bitso21. You should go to thebreakthroughworkshop.com. I lay out the different phases of music production and a bunch of different organization and kind of like just ways of changing your thinking about it that'll help you. It's designed to help you with exactly the problem you just posted on YouTube, so you should sign up for that workshop. Yeah, and then definitely join if you guys haven't joined the Producer Dojo Facebook group. I mean, you know, if you want the real Producer Dojo experience, you got to join the dojo. But the Facebook group is really active, and it's kind of like a renegade Producer Dojo where basically you can get a lot of track feedback and community action for free. And then I go in there sometimes, and a lot of the other members are in there. So I mean, you don't get like access to my libraries and videos and everything, but you do get access to some of the community for free, which is pretty cool. So you guys should definitely join the Producer Jojo Facebook group. Oh my God, you're both from the Dakotas, BTK and Bitso. It's Dakota party, Dakota party. Yeah, I'm Uniwob, Jesse. You got me. You got me. Definitely Uniwob. Oh, you're in Montana? Yo, BTK, Montana. Montana is really fucking dope. Montana is that's where a lot of the dojo members are. Like Mitch Brady #1, and Mitch Brady is dope, and then also Nintendo, who is he does our mastering, a lot of the mastering. He's really good for mastering and mix downs and stuff. And he's also really good at songwriting, so he's kind of like pretty complete package as an instructor. Oh yeah, also good news for you dojo members. The FL Studio department was a bit lacking, so we've got Scoobs and Detox who are both going to be teaching FL Studio. I'm going to be doing a new version of the Breakthrough, not this week, but next week. I'm going to do it live and make a new version and everything, and then we're gonna make sure that you guys all know that you can access FL Studio instructors as well. So it's not just me and Ableton. Okay. All right. Where is my sub? There's my sub. Wow, it's crackling just playing this up. Oh yeah, I had my latency down because I was playing with my hands. So I gotta turn the latency up. Yeah, this is gonna be a huge load off this project because there's not really anything that major happening outside of that bass bus. So I think once this bass bus is rendered, it'll be... Oh yeah, and then I probably don't want all of these other crazy effects happening. Like that, I don't think I need. That, I don't think I need. That, I don't think I need. The rest of this stuff can stay. Okay. So I'll render that, and that'll be just the sub. Yo, BTK is an MMA fighter? That's pretty cool. What do you go by for MMA World? Yeah, BTK, what I'm doing now is the key to making really good bass is to have separate control over your sub, because the sub it's just different. It's kind of like the sub is vibration and the rest of the bass is sound. So you want to have like a sine wave or like a low pass triangle wave to make your sub. Typically you can sometimes make a square sub, but I find they don't come out as well. But a sine wave really moves the most air of all the sound waves, like because it's a pure tone, most of the energy is transmitted directly into vibration. So you always want to have a separate sub layer, and then you high pass everything else, and then just really make sure that they articulate together, that they stay in phase, that your sub doesn't have any any effects plugins on it that are going to kind of make it too different, and to make it not a sine wave. But the key is to have a really good sine wave. I like to use the sine wave from my Moog synthesizer over here because it's like just fucking super juicy, and it's the best sine wave I've found. I'm sure there are other ones that are good. The SEO2 is a pretty good synth too. I haven't made a batch of subs from it yet to compare, but you get a really nice warm sub out of the Moog. Like it's like not quite a sine wave. It's kind of like there's a little bit of harmonics to it, and it's just really, really, really nice. Andrew Bernhardt. Depends on what you're after. The different instructions are all the different instructors are all pretty different. If you wanted like Evan Tectonic is very, very competent, and he's a very skilled producer, and he really knows how to make more like edgy kind of left field crazy sound design, really intense mixing, you know, like he like pushes it pretty far technically and artistically both. So I think Evan is a solid choice. But also like Dustin is really, really good at making bangers. Like he makes actual like hits that like hits, you know, he's really good at making hits, that making shit that people really like. And when I play his tracks on the dance floor, people, they don't even have to know that it's Matter. It's like cheering every time, like verbal cheering, you know. So Evan is you know, technically and artistically very next level. Dustin makes hits. Mitch Brady has an excellent feel for melody, and he's really, really good at working quickly. So he's like, I would recommend if you're just starting out, probably work with Mitch Brady, because he's really good at making like getting the whole workflow going and timers and all that shit. And then Nintendo is our mixing and mastering guy. And then if you're using FL Studio, you want to book either with James Detox, or Scoobs. And those guys are both real fucking badasses with FL Studio. Okay, so I'm gonna just mute the bass bus and file, save as. I'm gonna say flat bass. And then once this is saved, actually I should probably do a collect all and save. I might have used some little nook and cranny samples from other places at this point. So file, collect all and save. Yep, do that. Just make sure all my samples are in one place. But yeah, Andrew, also if you're in Seattle, having Evan in Seattle is cool, you know? Yeah, there we go. I knew there was a couple little samples in there that needed some love. Okay, so watch this. Watch the processor just drop. Okay, so this is it right now. Right? Now I'm going to put the bass bus up to 0 and watch what happens when we do this. Bye-bye, bass group. Look at that. That just cut 30% off my processor. Fucking stoked. Oh, hey, man, I'm glad you like Never Alone. Yay. Okay, so there's a little bit of a level difference here. There's some peaks that need to be shaved off. I think that what I might do is do the 2-channel approach, where I have the sub, and I'll keep that one around. I'll say all bass. And then I'm going to call this one sub, and then this one tops, because I think that I'm probably going to be able to get a better sound if I have the sub only here, and then the tops only here. Oh, and then that needs to go on the sub channel, as does that and that. Okay, so this is probably going to sound better. I'm gonna have more control. So okay, so this new bass group. Yeah, so now that I've done that, I'm gonna have a lot more control over everything. The sub appears to be at a pretty consistent level. I think there is this little peak that I want to cut off. So I'm gonna go in and get a limiter. Sometimes I use sometimes I'll use the saturator to do this, or because if you put it on the soft clip, it's like a if you put it on a soft clip, it is a hard limiter. Same thing with the glue compressor, but in this case, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so I want my peak around there. Okay. Okay, so what's our level at here? Okay, so I'm gonna gain it up a little. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn the output down a little bit. I want it to be at maybe minus, I mean, where are my drums? Drums are at minus 8.3, so I need this to be minus 14.3. So if it's minus 12, then I gotta go down 2.6. Okay, so now I'm also going to put a little bit of a high pass on the rest of the basses, because I think perhaps not all of them are as high passed as I would like. I'm going to go with a pretty hard high pass, probably just around there. Okay, so then on this bass group, I think I'm going to put another limiter, because the main bass hits are getting a little bit loud. So I'm going to put another limiter here and okay, cool. So now I want this to be about minus 16. So I need minus 3 from there. That sounds a lot better and uses way less processor. Oh, what a relief having all my processor back. I mean, it was getting to the point where, you know, I literally just like couldn't add any melodies or anything. So I think I should be able to get my latency back down to 64. I hope. Let's try. Yeah, maybe I'll go to 128. 128, you can still like play stuff reasonably. Okay, so that's a 128. Great. Okay, so I'm going to go into my project folder, and then I made this other sort by date modified. I made this other version of the project folder. Yes, this guitar project. So this is a really good thing to know about in Ableton. In the browser, each one of these projects has like a little triangle drop down thing. And if you go like that, you can select channels from one project and bring them into another project. So in this case, I'm going to do that. And then I can have all those chords that I figured out and everything like into this new project. Okay, so we don't need the vocals, I don't think, because I already have another channel of them. And then where's my, oh no, oop, I forgot a channel. That's the one that I really need with the chords. Okay, so this pad is not really what I want. I want to get something that's like, oh yeah, that CS80 is pretty nice. This is a really famous Yamaha polysynth that they use for Blade Runner, so that's pretty much the one you want to use. Let's see if there's other CS80 patches. None of these are really what I'm looking for. I want to find something really kind of like shimmery and sparkly. Let's kill the... Maybe if I look up shimmer. That's pretty good. That one's pretty good. That one's not. That's close to what I want. I want it to be a little bit glitchy and a little bit like shimmering. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. Okay, intro exterior. What the fuck? Intro exterior polygist. Great name, guys. Great name. Okay, so patches. Enter exteriopologist. Christ, what a silly patch name. That is so silly. Grain shimmer. I think that's what that one's called. Too much noise. Ooh, that's really good. Land of Eternal Youth. That one's pretty much what I'm looking for. Excuse me. Sensei Shimmer, also very nice. Okay, so those are all pretty good. Those are all pretty good. Let's go back to the polysynths and see. Oh, it's grain table art. Grain table ARPs. That should be added to dictionary. Learn. Oops. ARPs. Learn spelling. Grain table. Learn spelling. Okay. Alright, so let's see what other polysynths. I think what I'm going to do, like, a lot of the time when you're, like, let's say you're writing for an orchestra, right? You wouldn't typically have, like, a chord just played on one instrument. You'd have, like, one note going to this instrument, one note going to that instrument, and one note going to another instrument. So I'm probably going to do something like that eventually. I'm just going through the patches to see what is going to sound nice here. I'll put the patch scramble on. Nope. 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 That's nice. Okay, so this is Shimmers. And then Foundation patch. That Memory Moog one. What was that? Memory Moog Swelly. Flaming Supersize. This sounds not like. Nope. Ooh. Golden Age of Analog. Nice patch. Too much attack. That is a great polysynth. That's from OB6, which is from Dave Smith Instruments, homies of mine, and they make fucking great synths. Additive Changeling is nice. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a rack where each note goes to a different instance of Omnisphere. I had high hopes for a patch titled Shimmering Koto Synth. It seems like it would be appropriate, but it was not. That's nice. Harmonic influences. That's a nice patch for sure. This kind of... Ooh, Ultra Sick Blip is nice. Has that cool bend at the beginning. I love a bent chord. There's something about chords that are bent that's just really nice. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna sound cool with the bends, cause they really make a chord like, whoa, you know, really, it's nice. think I might do a search for the keyword Oberheim. Because the OB6 is just such a great fucking synth. I mean, all the Oberheim stuff is. Oh. Dude, the transient on that's amazing. That's almost the patch I was gonna make. That's like really close to what I was gonna make. Beautiful. Ooh. Sounds really nice. That's really good. Okay, cool. I think that's probably enough to build what I need. Alright, so I'm going to take a careful look at these chords and see what I can learn. Okay, so G, G, D, G. Wow, that one's like not even a chord. I think this should really be like this. So like that, and then it adds the C's. Extend these all. Okay, because I gotta figure out what voice is gonna go to what synth. This patch is amazing. It's so funny. It sounds like Charlie Brown. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. These little notes are not going to be appropriate in that patch. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this now. And I'm going to go, okay, so this is going to be bent poly. Okay, and then I'm going to skip some notes on this bent poly patch. Actually, here we should. Actually, I'll just put it on repeat. Okay, now I'm going to call this raw chords and store it in the old session view in case I need to get that later. Raw chords, there we go. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna put like a Reese in the very bottom because that's always a good idea. So I'm gonna take all these other notes that I'm maybe not using and get rid of them, and then I'm gonna make it so just the lowest note is a Reese. I think I have a few Reeses in here. I think a lot of these are actually pretty, let's see, classic Reese. Yeah, because I think a lot of my Reeses are all fucking Morphe, and I really just want like a nice low Reese. Actually, you know what? I might just use the Moog. Let's see what this sounds like though. Loop that. There's a bit too much going on with there. I think I might just use the Moog. The best Reese's are always from the Moog. Okay, so MIDI output to machine, MIDI or audio input from the Moog. I think it's input 2 is the Moog, if I recall. Make sure this thing's in tune, because analog loves to get out of tune, especially when it's cold, like right now. Sounds pretty nice, so I'll call this Moog sub, and then I'm going to freeze it, or I guess I'll just record it to another channel. Where are you? Moog sub. Okay, so I'll call this Moog sub, or I'll say Moog Reese, because it is a Reese, it's not just a sub. So that's the Reese. Excuse me. I think I'm going to make another version of it without the Reese effect, without like the detuning, because right now there's all this detuning happening from the second oscillator. So I'm going to take the second oscillator down and have it just be like one triangle wave for the sub, because I have a feeling that might actually sound better. And I can see like there's this kind of, you see here, there's this instability in the output level from the there's a pretty dramatic instability in the output level from the fact that there's two oscillators detuning and phase canceling, which is what gives it that nice Reese sound. But yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna call this one Moog Sub. And then let's see. Maybe take the over a little bit of warmth, not too much. See, this is a triangle wave. You hear it has a little bit of a saw type characteristic, but then if you just low pass it a little, then you get a nice juicy sub. Yeah, so I'm gonna record that now, and then that could maybe be the sub. Oh. Okay, so I'm noticing that the volume level is actually slightly decreasing. Oh, I wonder what those little ticks are. So the notes are, oh ho, that's what it is. I want to do that. That is definitely a thing. So. It sounds better going up, so I'm going to record a different one with it going up. Okay, cool. So that'll do for a sub. I think I might just cut it and make the volume levels match later. I'll see. But yeah, that'll do for a sub. And then I'll also probably not have it come in until there, because there's the one where it drops, so it's like. I'm gonna also, there's that negative space at the end that is missing. So let's make sure I got all the notes in my chord. I think this chord wants to end here. Okay, so maybe if I make this the full length, and then this put some more negative space here. Fuck, that patch is just great. I mean, there's too many notes, so I'm gonna have to probably really split the voicing up. But I think this is probably gonna sound a little better, to be completely honest. So there, and then let's make that into double the length, and then kill that note. Yeah, that's probably going to be better like that. And then this last note. Okay, and I probably want that to go right to there, and then hard cut when it's done. Cool, man. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just cut that off there. Ooh, okay, I think I'm actually going to take a break and get some breakfast. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, but I'm going to come back in a little bit and get back to work. See you in a bit.